Hello, America, and thank you for joining me. I want to discuss with you Jewish politics in America. First, I wanted to ask, does anybody know how many Jews there are in America? Well, I pulled up a roll since 1889, it goes back to, and it's just unbelievable to realize that as of today, this goes through every single state, and there are about 7 million, just under 7,500,000. Excuse me, just about 7,500,000 Jewish Americans. I'm here to discuss why we must vote for President Trump this election. There is no other alternative. Now, I know that there are um, plenty of Jewish liberals and Jewish actors and movie stars that consider themselves liberals and they voted Democrat their whole entire life. So, what is going to cause you to perhaps not have this? It's like almost like when I mention the candidate, President Trump, to some of my friends and family, they actually cringe like they get a rash or the hives or something. You'd think that I was mentioning, I don't want to say the word from all the times that the media has portrayed him as a very evil, terrible guy. But that isn't true. We know that President Trump has done so much for Israel, creating not only the U.S. Embassy to move from Tel Aviv to Yerushalayim and making it the capital, but he has done so much more. He kept Iran broke. And I just want, if you're listening, for you to just think about this. If you're Jewish and you veered off and you're not conservative and you're liberal and you are definitely voting Democratic, even though there was not a real Democratic primary for the current candidate. So you have to ask yourself, are you voting out of habit? Are you voting because you dislike President Trump's personality, his demeanor, the way he conducts himself? Well, it is true. The reason he got elected in 2016 is because he ran on closing the border, making our borders safe, our people safe. He campaigned on draining the swamp in Washington, D.C. And we all know that the swamp is big government, um, big lobbyists, and a handful of elites. Now, most Jewish people live in New York, and I spoke to some of my family in New York who used to vote Democrat, and this election, they are dying to get to the polls to vote for President Trump, former President Trump. We have to put him back in office. Failing to do that is like failing our ancestors. You see, we're American Jews and we are free American Jews. However, currently, the Democratic Party has veered so far off to the left that they are simply a machine. And as a Jew, I know you're smart and I know you're thinking. You know that a vote for Kamala is in fact a vote against the state of Israel. So if you were pro terrorism, if you were pro when 9/11 occurred, if you were pro the terrorists that killed thousands and thousands of Americans right here in our country, think about being in Israel, where I grew up, where I went to school. That country is at war. They are on the brink of fighting a very, very savage-like war. We've all seen the pictures. We all know about the anti-Semitism and about the whole world turning against us. So what do we have, America? I'm making you this video. It's Shabbat, and I want to say Shabbat Shalom because I'm going to be ending here on this one note. Please, use your sechel. Barbara Streisand, you're liberal. I don't understand you. You're in this country. You are successful. You are talented. Yet, you're liberal and you're going to vote possibly for a machine that is the Democratic Party. That's what they are. I don't want to go back in history, but if I may, just for a moment, when we voted for Obama, he divided the country and polarized us. He was in office for 8 years. He would come out on a Monday or a Tuesday and have some remarks and some direction where the army was going to go and who we were going to attack. And there was a lot going on during his presidency. He was just a puppet. And then Hillary ran for office, and she was going to, just to call herself President of the United States, the first female, well, she was willing to be a puppet as well. And then we had Donald Trump, who won surprisingly in 2016, and all hell broke loose. The Democratic Party said from the onset, we will get him. We will impeach him. We will go after him with every means at our disposal, whatever it takes. We will keep going. And they did. So in 2020, after the pandemic, we elected Biden, who was nothing more than a puppet and an extension of Obama. We were against Obama after 8 years. We wised up. But Obama was not pro-Israel. He was not pro anything, but seemingly anti-American on an apology tour. And he did all kinds of things. I once heard him admit that he was a puppet. And it would be nice if he was able to be president and the strings weren't being pulled, but they were pulled from possibly people like George Soros and other people behind the scenes. So now you have a choice. And I am speaking to the Jews. 7.5 million votes could put former President Trump back in office, the man who is pro-Israel, the man who is pro every American in this country, who is pro. I don't want to speak about all the American things he's for. I just want to talk about how he will help Israel, how he can possibly help negotiate and get the terrorists back, how he will keep us out of wars, peace through strength. So, in every election, you must know that Hashem, God, chooses a leader. And we almost lost President Trump just a short while ago. I believe he was saved. He was saved to win this election, to make America, in his words, great again, to help make Israel great again, and to end this Ukrainian war. We need somebody strong, a leader like President Trump. So I am asking you and I am pleading, and my prayer is for you to please, all Jews, all American Jews who have a vote, your vote, if it's for Trump, it is for Israel. If it's not for Trump, or if you're staying home because you're just sick of it, then, well, you're technically voting against Israel. So think about it. Think about what your vote means. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. And may God bless America, and may God bless Eretz Israel, Israel, and may He end this long, almost year nightmare of the wars with Gaza, the war with Hamas and Hezbollah. Thank you. And I hope that you think long and hard. I hope that I somehow maybe persuaded you that you are voting essentially for Israel when you vote for President Trump, as well as the land of the free and the home of the brave, these great United States of America. Thank you again. My name is Nicole, and I will be putting out more material to share my views on Jewish politics and Jews in America, both conservative and liberals.